King of Charmander here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I'm going to teach you how to play Pikachu in 10 minutes. This is my beginner's guide. I made Master's Rank with Pikachu, and it is a ranged attacker, more commonly known in the mobile world as an ADC, an attack damage control character, or a carry. So Pikachu is a very offensive, or very squishy, as you see, almost no endurance or support. Very little mobility, however, it can do a ton of damage over time if you use it well. Contrary to popular belief, it's actually incredibly difficult to use. It's not really novice, as you see here, it's more of a very expert-like. Anyways, let's get started. So Pikachu's basic attack becomes boosted with every third attack, dealing increased damage, and it paralyzes the opponent's Pokemon for a short amount of time. As you see here, as I'm going down the lane, I am using it to attack the mobs or these Apoms, and as you see, every third attack is a Thunderbolt. It's boosted and it will deal more damage, as well again paralyze the Pokemon for a short amount of time. You can use this to your advantage by timing your third attack. As you see here with this engagement with Snorlax, I'm going to time my third attack so I can deal extra damage and KO this Snorlax. Even though it's in its goal, we'll be able to take it out with the third attack, and as you see here, that's GG's. Alright, now here is its passive. It will paralyze all opponents near it for a short amount of time when Pikachu receives damage, and then it goes on cooldown. As you see here, that blue little electricity you see on this Charmeleon, that's static activating. And it's really unnoticeable, so it's kind of useless. You don't want Pokemon near Pikachu, so Pikachu can take damage, and it's really unnoticeable. So like I said, just don't bank on it, and it's pretty useless. Alright, next up we have Pikachu's moveset skills. As you see, we got Thundershock. Thundershock is a sure hit move, meaning it's going to hit 100% as long as you target the correct mon. It releases electricity and it deals damage in opposing area in an area effect. So it also does AoE, area of effect. It'll do it's pretty close. You'll see an example shortly. And it will also paralyze opposing Pokemon for a short amount of time. Now, when you reach level 4, you can choose two moves, Electro Ball or Thunder. Electro Ball is a sure hit move as well. Again, it's going to hit as long as you're targeting the right mon, and it's like an upgraded version of Thundershock. It will leave them paralyzed for a short amount of time, and it will deal more damage the lower the opposing Pokemon's HP is. If you upgrade it, it increases damage dealt by the move. Next up, you have Thunder, which is an area of effect move, meaning it's going to do damage over a small area. It's going to drop Thunderbolts, and it deals damage in the opposing area as an AoE. You'll see an example again shortly. And if you upgrade it, it increases the number of attacks for this move. Here's an example of using Thundershock. This is the move you want to go first at the beginning of the match, because Thundershock has only a 5-second cooldown compared to Electroweb's 9-second cooldown. As you see here, you can use it to quickly clear the mobs. Thundershock's also really useful when you engage an opponent because it does a decent amount of damage, will stun your opponent, and will do a good amount of damage at the beginning of the match. As you see here, I use Thundershock, and Thundershock is able to do a ton of damage to take out that Gibble. Next up, we got Electro Ball. So Electro Ball is really useful for getting those last hit on mobs so that you can take that last hit and get the most XP you can. So you see here, I'm using it on Sondino, and it takes it out, and I get the most XP as possible. It does more damage the more the opponent is hurt, so it's really useful at chipping down your opponent and winning engagements, as you see here. By using Electro Ball, we deal enough damage so that our Cramorant can go ahead and just KO our opponent, because it does so much damage when your opponent's chipped down. Here's an example of it being used as a surefire move. Even though this Cinderace uses Feint, because it's already targeted, surefire moves will always hit. As you see here, it tries to Feint, but unfortunately, because Electro Ball is a surefire move, it will always hit and KO our opponent. Really useful for hunting down your opponents when they try to dodge like that Cinderace. Next up, we got Thunder. So Electro Ball has a small AoE, but they have to be really close. Thunder has a nice circles of area of effect, as you see here. Really useful in team fights and just when your enemies are grouped up together, as it has a nice little spread. Use it to chip away your opponents or finish them off. As you see here, we have our enemy engagement. We have a team fight going, but Thunder has such a nice area of effect, we're able to KO that Snorlax. Alright, Pikachu's next skill is Electroweb. So, Electroweb attacks and captures opposing Pokemon using a net, leaving them unable to move. Hindrance moves are basically stun moves. They keep an opponent stunned for a set amount of time, so they can't do anything. As you see here, once you reach level 6, you can select one of the following two moves: Volt Tackle or Thunderbolt. Volt Tackle will have Pikachu charge ahead, throwing itself into the opposing Pokemon, and it will stun them. And it has a 10-second cooldown. On the other hand, Thunderbolt attacks an enemy with a strong electric blast. It deals area of effect damage, and it also stuns them as well. One upgrade for Volt Tackle will reduce the move's cooldown, and an upgrade for Thunderbolt will increase the damage dealt by the move. Volt Tackle will throw you into your opponent. Be aware, you're still able to take damage when Volt Tackle is used. Thunderbolt is also a target move, so you can manually target your opponents with Thunderbolt, and it's one of my personal favorites for Pikachu. Here's an example for Electroweb. As you see, Electroweb works on opposing Pokemon. You can use it to lock the mobs around the map. As you see here, it stuns that Audino, and it's very useful for stunning in team fights. In early team fights, as you see here, I'm using it to stun this Gible, and because this Gible is stunned, our Snorlax is able to take it out. You can also use it to help your teammates run away, so use it to stun your opponent to take them out, or use them to stun so that you can escape. Here's an example for Volt Tackle. Volt Tackle is a dangerous move to use. It hurls you towards your opponent, so as you see, it will stun them, but at the same time, you will still take damage. So you can still get stunned, and you can still take damage while you're using Volt Tackle, and you're going towards your opponent. You can control where you land, so after you use it, as you see, you will land away normally. It works on both Pokemon mobs as well as enemy players. So Volt Tackle, again, is very dangerous. You can still take damage, and you can still get stunned. As you see in this engagement with this Garchomp, we get stunned while we're using it. So instead of landing outside as we normally do, we are stunned in place. So again, just be very mindful of where you hurl yourself towards when you are using Volt Tackle. Alright, here is Thunderbolt. This is one of my personal favorites. With Thunderbolt, as you see here, you can stun your opponent in place, and it has a small AoE. You can also control where it goes, so you can manually skill shot where you want to use Thunderbolt. As you see here, I'm using it to take out this Pikachu, and you can use it in so many ways. You can use it to take out many enemy Pokemon, or you can use it to run away. Or, even better, you can use it to keep your opponent from running away. If you use it expertly, Thunderbolt is very useful for saving your opponents, or KOing your opponents. And last but not least, we have Pikachu's Unite move, which is Thunderstorm. It's an area move, which means it does an area of effect damage, and it attacks the opposing team with tremendous bolts of lightning. It only works on enemy Pokemon, so it only works on players, it won't work on mobs. Also, the problem with Thunderstorm is that you kind of have to hurl yourself towards your opponent. The good thing is it gives you a little speed boost at the end, so you can escape from danger if you need to. Here's an example of using Thunderstorm. As you see here, you need to be close to your opponent. A circle will appear that shows the AoE. Generally, it's about as even as Pikachu's attack range. And it also gives you a speed boost so you can run away. If you set it up, you can make it so that you deal a ton of damage against your opponent and cause team wipes, as you see here. It's a great example of using Thunderstorm to deal enough damage to take out multiple opponents and get the W for your team. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is a Pikachu beginner's guide. This should give you a good example or a good blueprint of how to play Pikachu. More advanced Pikachu strategies and item builds in the future. If you're doing a huge favor, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. If you're looking for more guides on Pokemon Unite, I am a master level player, and I am doing very well right now as a Pikachu main. Well, more on other mains later. But again, please like and subscribe. All you have to do to subscribe is you see that little box at the bottom right, put your mouse over it, it'll easily pop a sub tab. And for all my subscribers right now, I really do appreciate you. Good luck on your battles, good luck on your climbing masters, and I will see you guys on the next video.